identity theft is? Have you heard of synthetic identity theft? Welcome to Blind Intelligence, where the rules, the rights, and the responsibilities put you back in control. Hi, I'm your host, Foresight. I want to talk today a little bit about the synthetic identity theft. Okay, so now you say, well, what is synthetic identity theft? Hmm. Your child, your grandma, your granddad, someone's older. What happens is somebody gets hold of their social security number. This here is really diabolical and real vicious. Someone get hold of their social security number. They get a fake name, fake address, fake date of birth. Alright? Then what happens is they get a credit card. They don't max it out just yet, right? They don't max it out just yet. But what they do is they build credit slowly in that credit card's name, and you'll never detect that you got identity theft. And until they can get what they need or get that credit up to where they want it, boom, then they got it. Now they're gonna run amok on it. They'll run amok on it. And then the parent of the child might be 5, 6, something like that years old. And when the child turns old enough to get a credit card that the parent may want them to have when they get older, because they figure that they're responsible and it's time for them to move in that direction. They can't, because parent when pull their report and somebody is using this child's identity for the past 10 years. And racked up a whole bunch of stuff. They got hard inquiries, charge-offs, bankruptcies, all kinds of mess. How do you get out of that type of stuff? I'm not going to say bankruptcies, but let's say charge-offs, let's say hard inquiries, let's say judgments. They collected and sued them. The judgments don't show up on the consumer report, but now they get taken to court and they go into dishonor because they don't show up for court. And now the child is working, now their wages just got garnished. How? And a lot of times that's how they find out, when their wages get garnished. Or they can't get a job that they went to school for because their credit jacked up. The elderly folk, I feel sorry for them the worst. Let me tell you why. Because elderly folk is the most vulnerable. Why are they the most vulnerable? Because you don't have very many people to stand over them and watch. Because half the time it be the folks in them nursing homes. It be family members that do this mess to them people. Not saying that, oh, don't get it twisted that parents don't do it to their children. I've seen a lot of them. I had a lot in my neighborhood that did it to their children. A lot. But I'm speaking about, let's speak about the elderly for a minute. You got some folks out here, they get elderly people's social security numbers and they run amok. Some of them, with elderly folks, they already have established credit. So the credit card companies and the personal loan agencies, they already can give them credit, extend them a line of credit. They already those credit cards can be up to $20,000. Loans $10,000, $5,000. As many loans they can get. So where do we stand? They very vulnerable. But here's where we stand at. It's awareness. We stand with awareness because I'm telling you, if you don't understand that this goes on, you're going to be up for a rude awakening. Because it may be going on either to you or it may be going on to someone that you love or someone that you know. That's why they always say, check in on the elderly folk. Check in on them. Not just peep your head in the door and say, hey, are you all right? What I mean by that is going in there, just sitting down with them, visiting, playing checkers with them, watch TV with them, buying them some stuff, and getting on down. No. If they want you to go into their finances and look into some things, do it. Don't be afraid. Fear is not an option when it comes to identity theft. Because one thing about you, you know what you have and you know what you don't have. And you know when somebody is taken from you. You know, a lot of them are still sharp. A lot of the elderly folks are still sharp. We're talking about the elderly folks that's like 80, 70, 75, 90, up to like 100. They still, a lot of them are still sharp. I'm gonna be one. You're gonna be one. Gotta remain sharp. This right here, identity theft plagues everybody. But I'm speaking about those two. Our children and the elderly. That's what this is all about. That's what this synthetic identity theft is. Because it's real. Anybody can manufacture some stuff, make that thing look good, like a credit card, not a credit card, but a ID card, man, and run amok. They get these credit cards, and the bad part about it is they get these credit cards, and they don't run amok right away. That's the bad part about it. And all the good stuff have to go in with the bad stuff. Get it back down to zero. You got to rebuild it all up. But look, listen. So how do we combat this? Well, the first thing when you see your loved one or your significant other credit is jacked up like that, the very first thing that you will want to do is this. The very first thing that you want to do is you want to freeze their credit reports. You want to get a copy of the credit reports and see where they're bleeding at, but you want to freeze them. Freeze them. You freeze the consumer reports, file an FTC affidavit, you file a CFPB 60B letter, 605B letter, and you file a police report. You file your, I'm telling you, you do all of that, and you get in contact with these creditors, debt collectors, everybody, the consumer agencies, third-party consumer agencies like CoreLogics, Innovis, SageStream, and you send them letters. Don't call them. Send them letters. Certified mail, get a return receipt on every last one. You're going to spend some bread. Because if somebody decides to ignore you now, you got leverage. Phone call go out the window. Written word lasts forever. Remember that, y'all. This is not checkers. This is chess. Play the game. Play the game, and just like the book, just like Les Brown the book. I will what was that book he written? It's not over until I win. You keep on fighting. They tell you no, don't accept it. Don't accept what they tell you. Because documentation, ain't no talking with no documents. So they can say whatever they want to say. Ain't no talking with no documents. Because your affidavits is your proof. Your consumer reports is your proof. Okay. And this is one of the solution, that the steps that you need to take in order to get this thing handled. Man, people are very, very trifling these days. They don't care who they hurt. They don't care who they affect. I thank my lucky stars that I didn't never experience identity theft. But I know some people that has. And I had to handle it for them. I had a family member whose identity was stolen. They took out a $7,000 loan on them. And a debt junk buyer sent them a letter. They didn't know what to do. And I asked, when my loved one called me, she says, you know anything about this letter, I said, okay, let me ask you one question. At the bottom of the letter, what does it say? I said, okay, no problem. She said, so the debt collector collect on behalf of the debt. And I said, okay, no problem. Came by, brought me the paperwork, and I took care of it. I took the letter, wrote a letter, right? This is what I had to do. Now, they've been living here in Mississippi, but they've been living in Mississippi here for 12 years. How you gonna send me a letter from Pennsylvania? Number one, I never lived in Pennsylvania. Cease and desist. fact, the statutory limitation of collecting on the debt state of Mississippi is 3 years. Because they have to abide by this state. You coming after me in my state. And I didn't even bother. I didn't even have to go into the. I didn't even have to go into asking the question: were they licensed here in the city in the state of Mississippi? I didn't even have to ask that. But they gotta be licensed. All right. But it went away. And I'm telling you, letters work. If you think letters don't work, you're going to be up for a rude awakening. Physical letters work. Certified mail, get a return receipt. I'm telling you, people don't want you to think that letters work anymore because everybody's emailing. That's fine. Electronic mail is okay because it has a timestamp on it. It has a signature. Yes. But snail mail still works. And you can keep it on record. The way they sent her the letter, I sent them the letter. And it went away, never heard back from them ever again. And this is some things that you would have to do when you're facing with synthetic identity that's dealing with your significant other or your loved one or or a child or something like that is vulnerable. If you found this video educational and informational, please run the likes up and please drop me a comment because I would love to hear from you. I want to thank you for watching. If you found some enjoyment in this video, I got a couple more videos coming on identity theft. And I want to thank you for watching once again. I'm your host, Foresight. And this is Blind Intelligence.